Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Joel, this is Nick, and this is a special episode of A Stable Life. I hope you guys are excited because this is going to be something unlike our normal episodes here. For the majority of this video, you're going to be seeing the footage from this guy right here. Do you actually have a name for your drone?
I call him Walter.
Walter? There you go. You're gonna be seeing the footage from Walter. The whole point of this episode is we wanted to give you guys a couple ideas of what it's like here at our stable from the air. You're gonna be seeing how big the pasture is for the horses, where they're able to go, what the horse stable looks like from the air, to give you guys a better idea of just how everything's connected and how everything works. And Nick here is our drone pilot for the day. He is going to be doing an excellent job of taking us around and giving us a tour. And he's also, at the very end, going to just kind of go crazy and show us the unique attributes that Walter has for drone flight and photography. So with normal drones, you would have a tablet right here while you're controlling the drone, and this is the camera feed where you'll be seeing. But with Walter, the camera feed is being pumped right into those goggles, and he's seeing everything that Walter is seeing, which provides for a very unique and incredible flying experience. But that also means that this drone is able to capture footage that's very unique and different than normal drone photography. All right, we're gonna switch things over to Walter and see what Walter's seeing and go from there. We're gonna get started right here with as though you were arriving at our stable. So you're gonna be coming down the road, and what's nice about being here in northeastern Pennsylvania is we have some really beautiful mountains. You'll notice right here is our horseback riding arena. You can actually see a couple of the girls riding their horses right inside there. And right here is where you can get a good idea to see just how connected the Veggie Boys and our horse stable here at A Stable Life is. You can see there's the Veggie Boys shop, and we're flying right over top of the horse stable right now. Right over here is our big field, which is directly connected to the cow pasture. And we're gonna take you guys for a flight right over top of the cow pasture, all the way over to the farm fields on the other side. Now the cow pasture is directly connected to the horse pasture, and they're both on different sides of the hollow. Right over here is where all the farm fields are, where we have a number of different crops growing, anything from grain such as corn, wheat, soybeans, to of course our hay crops. And this is a nice area over here, and this is known as the home farm. With the time being early May, you can see all the crops are basically starting to come to life as all the trees are budding. And we're really excited and looking forward to all the leaves coming out of all the trees and seeing that greenery really start to sharpen up. Right here's the boundary to our horse pasture. You see that 60-acre pasture right here. And this is the area that we maintain and that you guys see. Now, this is the meadow. Flying across over to the meadow, you can see where all the horses are, grazing on the top hill, and directly in front of us is where all of our manure storage is, as well as our hay storage. Flying forward, we see our middle field, which is deliberately small, about 3 acres, so that we can primarily feed hay for all of our horses. Directly in front of us is our lower arena, as well as the left and right runs. You can see Poncho right there, wondering what's that. And then, of course, there's Rocky and Buster there on the lower side. Directly in front of us here is the Veggie Boys' main farm. Here we can see all the greenhouses. With the time being almost Mother's Day, they are hard at work right now, getting all those flowers into everybody's hands. And right here is the main farm. We can see everything working in unison together. One big family operation, all working in harmony. The grass is really growing this time of year. Of course, as it gets warmer, the grass really starts to shoot up a lot more for the pasture. What's nice about this time of year is this is before all of the weeds take effect and really start growing in the pasture. This year, I'm really gonna do my best to make sure that all those weeds are mowed down before they go to seed. From what I see, it looks like we've got Tucker on the foreground here. Can you guys pick out Dox and Argento? They really stand out like sore thumbs, don't they? As well as Samson. He is gigantic. And this really gives you guys an idea of the size of the operation. We're located right on the side of a hill. I don't necessarily know if the elevation is coming through on camera, but the hollow that you see on your lower left-hand side is quite steep, so there's very little flat ground. And that really comes into effect when we're running anything on the farming operation, as well as getting anything in bulk for the horses. But it certainly does make for a beautiful area that we live in. So it looks like Daniel just got home from doing something work-wise out in the fields. If I had to guess, he was probably prepping ground. They're getting ready for doing the first planting of some crops coming up. With the soil temperature getting warmer, we should be planting corn any day now, which is pretty exciting. And in the riding arena here, it looks like we can see Champ and George. Let's go say hi to Daniel. They had a big day at the farm market. A lot of plants got moved out today. The next thing that we'd like to show you guys is what it's like for our horses when they get turned out for the day. So what you guys are seeing right here is our main entrance for the middle field. This is the gate we let all the horses in at the beginning of every single video. So let's show you guys the path the horses take when they get turned out and they head out to get some food. They follow a pretty simple path moving on down. As we mentioned before, this pasture is not too big, about 3 acres. And that's designed that way because we want the horses to eat hay in this pasture specifically, because hay is a very good forage material. It keeps their digestive system healthy, keeps everything moving regularly, and helps when we have a lot of grass growing in the pastures. We can see the horses chowing down on a large square bale that we put in for today. The horses will usually eat for about an hour to 2 hours, and then after their bellies are full, they'll usually head out to the dirt on the right or the left and bed down and take a little bit of a nap. Here we see Casino, Rebel, Jack, as well as William and Roni, all enjoying that food. So right here is the entrance/exit for our big field. Right here is where all the horses get turned in at the beginning of the video for the big field. They'll all be waiting on this hill to move on in. What we're gonna do is show you the path the horses take once they're turned out and move on out to get some hay. They'll follow the hill down to the left, and you can see the path the horses take all the way out. They'll move along the left and right runs and occasionally stop at the middle field to say hi to their buddies in the other pasture. Continuing straight on down, we see the hay feeder front and center. A lot of the horses will make a beeline for this, specifically the ones that are higher in the pecking order, and it's right here that they will spend a lot of their time eating in the early spring, late fall, and of course through the duration of winter. We also notice the vacancy of revision 1.0 completely gone and destroyed. Looking forward to building a new feeder down here similar to this one that's able to withstand the abuse that my tractor is able to put them through. But as you guys can see, there's nothing there. None of the horses are interested in eating any of the hay, and that's simply because there's grass growing. The horses usually follow an interesting pattern when it comes to eating grass, and we would love to demonstrate that pattern here. So now what we're gonna do is follow the path that the horses are taking once grass starts growing in the pasture. This right here is the main part of the pasture that the horses spend the majority of their time eating grass on. You can tell because the grass is certainly grazed off here. Now what the horses will do is they'll maneuver their way all the way over through this hollow, over to the meadow overnight. Usually the horses will be all over here in this meadow by about 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning, usually when it's pitch black outside. They move as a herd together and completely graze this whole area off. Once they have that complete, they work together and work themselves all the way back over to the other side. But what's interesting is they do so in another fashion. They follow this path. You can see all of the horse paths below us going straight across. But instead of going up and to the left to the barn, they go up and to the right, over towards where the manure pile is. And it's usually, if you get to the stable early enough, by about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, this is where you'll find the majority of the horses. Afterwards, they'll make their way further up the pasture to right around here, where they'll take an occasional nap. As a matter of fact, this morning I found the entire herd sleeping. I'll show some pictures here. I took some pictures of the horses all sleeping in the pasture. It was pretty neat. And then by about 8:30 a.m., they make their way on up to the stable to be let in for morning feeding. So in case you guys want to see the behind the scenes, you can see that we have
It's a DJI FPV. It'll shoot 4K 60 frames a second, and it's a lot of fun to run around.
And just in case you guys want to see more footage from Nick, you guys can check out his YouTube channel, Fly High Cinematic. I'll put a link in the description below if you guys want to check him out. And in order for me to see where Nick's flying, you can see we've got a USB cord connected to his goggles that runs on over here to a tablet. And so all the narration's actually happening in real time as he's flying. All right, you guys, now we have a special treat for you. What we're gonna do is we're gonna dial the narration back a little bit and we're gonna turn up the music and just kind of give you guys an idea of what it's like to fly over top of not only the Veggie Boys farm, but also our horse stable here at A Stable Life. Well guys, I certainly hope that you really enjoyed this video. I recognize that this is a different type of video that you guys are normally used to. If you'd like to see more of this content, we'd be happy to do it for you. And if you'd like to see more FPV flying videos, of course you could check out Nick's YouTube channel, Fly High Cinematic. Again, I'll put that down in the description below. If you haven't, don't forget to hit that like button and make sure that you're subscribed.
And as always,
We'll see you in the next one.